That milk in your fridge right now, the one you poured on cereal this morning, the one you give your kids. Go grab it. I'll wait. Back. Good. Now flip it over. Find the ingredients. If you see milk solids, that's powder added to fresh milk. If you see permeate, that's cheese-making waste. If there's no date but a use-by months away, it's been ultra-pasteurized until nothing alive remains. What Australian supermarkets call fresh milk isn't fresh anymore. Corporate takeovers gutted farmer-owned brands. Ultra-pasteurization destroys the nutrition you're paying for. Sugar-loaded flavoured milk contains more sugar than soft drink. And one milk brand, number 4 on this list, is so terrifying that when you hear what's really going on, you'll question every glass you've ever drunk. I spent 3 weeks analysing labels, tracking ownership changes, and researching contamination scandals. What I found made me tip every carton in my house down the sink. 7 brands to never buy, 2 that are actually clean, and number 4, that one's going to terrify you. Let's start pouring. Number 7, Coles brand fresh milk. $2 for 2 litres. Cheapest milk in Australia. For families struggling with cost of living pressure, it seems like the obvious choice. That $2 price tag destroyed an entire industry. When Coles dropped milk to $2 in 2011, they started a war. Farmers were forced to accept payment below the cost of production, losing money on every litre while Coles used milk as a loss leader to get customers through the door. Australia has lost over 40% of dairy farms in the last 2 decades. Family operations bankrupted, replaced by industrial factory farms running on volume with minimal animal welfare. $2 milk did that, but the price war is just the beginning. Read the label on Coles fresh milk. Look for permeate. Until 2013, manufacturers could add permeate without declaring it. Permeate is whey protein concentrate, liquid left over after milk is processed into cheese. Instead of disposing of it, they add it back into fresh milk to reduce costs. You're drinking cheese-making waste mixed into your fresh milk. When consumer advocacy groups discovered permeate addition, Coles fought disclosure requirements. They argued permeate was a natural milk component, so didn't need declaration. After massive public pressure, labelling laws changed. The practice continues. Open your Coles milk, smell it. Does it smell fresh and creamy or slightly watery and bland? That's permeate diluting real milk. Taste it. The flavour is thin, one-dimensional. The texture is watery. $2 sounds cheap. You're subsidising Coles' loss leader strategy while drinking milk diluted with industrial byproduct, while family dairy farms disappear. $2 price destroyed dairy farmers. Contains permeate. Coles fought disclosure requirements. Number 6, dairy farmers full cream. That green and white carton. Been in Australian fridges since 1900. Over a century of heritage. Dairy farmers. The name promises you're supporting Australian farmers. You're not. Dairy Farmers is owned by Lion Dairy and Drinks. Lion Dairy is owned by Kirin Holdings, Japanese multinational. The Australian dairy farmers on the label are marketing fiction. They haven't been farmer-owned for decades. When Lion took over, they reformulated immediately. Permeate added. Same cheese-making byproduct as Coles milk. Premium pricing maintained, $4 to $5 for 2 litres, while actual farmers supplying the milk get commodity prices barely above production cost. In 2019, Dairy Farmers was caught using the Australian-made logo inappropriately. Some product lines contained imported milk powder, while the packaging suggested 100% Australian. Lion was forced to change labelling after complaints. Open your Dairy Farmer's carton. Pour it into a glass. Look at the consistency, thin, watery. The cream line is minimal. Real full cream milk has visible cream separation at the top. This has been homogenized so aggressively that natural cream structure is destroyed. Taste it honestly. Bland. Slightly sweet from the permeate. No complexity, no richness. Real dairy from healthy cows has subtle flavors, grassy notes, seasonal variation. Dairy Farmers tastes identical year-round because it's standardized industrial product. The green packaging still shows idyllic farm scenes. That imagery is designed to make you think you're supporting family farms. You're funding a Japanese multinational while the farmers on the label struggle at poverty-level prices. Iconic Australian brand since 1900. now Japanese-owned, permeate added to milk. If what you've heard so far is changing how you think about milk, hit subscribe. The next brands get progressively worse, and number 4 will genuinely terrify you. Number 5. Pura milk. Premium milk, that distinctive blue and white carton. Pura. The name suggests purity. $6 to $7 for 2 liters. Everything suggests this is the upgrade choice. Here's what Pura doesn't advertise. Ultra pasteurization. Most milk is pasteurized at 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds. Pura uses ultra-high temperature processing, 138 to 150 degrees Celsius for 2 to 4 seconds. That extreme heat kills everything. Every bacteria, every enzyme, every beneficial probiotic. The milk is sterile, completely dead. That's why Pura has extended shelf life. It can sit in your fridge for weeks without spoiling because there's nothing alive left to cause spoilage. But that extreme heat also destroys what you're paying for. Enzymes that help digest lactose, gone. Proteins that provide nutrition, denatured. Vitamin C, almost completely destroyed. B vitamins significantly reduced. Beneficial enzymes like lactoperoxidase that provide natural antimicrobial protection eliminated. You're drinking nutritionally compromised milk engineered for shelf life, not health. Open your Pura carton, smell it. It smells slightly cooked, almost caramelized. That's the ultra-high heat creating Maillard reactions. You're smelling cooked milk, not fresh milk. Taste it. It's sweet. Too sweet. The high heat breaks down lactose into simpler sugars. There's a slight cooked flavor that lingers. Some describe it as metallic or flat. The texture is unnaturally smooth. Too smooth. Real milk has subtle texture from natural fat globules. Pura is completely uniform, processed until every natural characteristic is eliminated. Pura is owned by Lion Dairy. Same Japanese-owned corporation as dairy farmers. They're using ultra-pasteurization to extend shelf life, reduce spoilage losses, and maximize profit margins. Your nutrition is secondary to their logistics optimization. Premium positioning with pure branding. Ultra-pasteurized destroying enzymes and vitamins. Shelf life prioritized over health. Everything we've covered so far? Child's play compared to what's coming next. Number 4, a 2 milk. Premium health milk, blue branding, scientific positioning, $8 to $10 for 2 liters. A 2 milk markets itself as easier to digest, healthier, scientifically superior. Here's what's terrifying. The science behind A2 milk is shaky at best, fraudulent at worst, and millions of Australians are paying double for health claims that regulatory bodies have questioned repeatedly. The basic claim: most dairy cows produce milk with both A1 and A2 beta-casein proteins. A 2 milk comes from cows that only produce A2 protein. The company claims A1 protein releases BCM7 during digestion, a peptide that causes inflammation, digestive issues, even links to heart disease and autism. Sounds scientific, sounds scary. Here's the problem. The research backing these claims is almost entirely funded by the A2 milk company itself. Independent studies have found minimal to no difference in digestive symptoms between A1 and A2 milk. A 2019 systematic review in Nutrition Reviews analyzed all available studies. Conclusion: current evidence does not support A1 beta-casein as a cause of digestive discomfort. The differences found in company-funded studies disappear when independent researchers conduct proper controlled trials. But it gets worse. In 2018, the ACCC investigated a 2 milk company for potentially misleading health claims. They were making statements about preventing diabetes and heart disease, claims with zero credible scientific support. After ACCC scrutiny, a 2 milk quietly removed the most egregious claims. They didn't stop marketing A2 as healthier. They just got more careful about legally defensible wording. Here's what makes this truly terrifying. A 2 milk company is a for-profit corporation. They patented genetic testing to identify A2-only cows. They licensed this testing globally. They've built a billion-dollar business on contested science and health claims that regulators questioned. Australian families are falling for it. Parents with children who have mild digestive issues switch to A2, hoping for relief. They pay double. Their kids' symptoms might improve, likely placebo effect, and they become loyal customers for life. based on false causation and company-funded research. But here's the nightmare scenario. Some A2 milk sold in Australia is imported. Imported dairy from countries like New Zealand and United States may contain recombinant bovine growth hormone, RBGH. This synthetic hormone is injected into cows to increase milk production. It's banned in Australia and the EU due to animal welfare and potential human health concerns. A2 milk doesn't exempt from RBGH if source cows were treated. You could be paying premium prices for milk marketed as healthier while potentially consuming growth hormones banned in Australian dairy production. Open your A2 milk. Taste it blind against regular milk. Can you tell the difference? Probably not, because there isn't one. The health superiority is marketing, not reality. Premium health positioning with scientific claims. A 1 versus A2 science doesn't hold up. A CCC investigated misleading marketing. If that scared you, good. Share this video with anyone buying A2 thinking the health claims are proven science. And stick around, the top 3 brands are just as bad in completely different ways. Number 3. Oak-flavored milk. Chocolate milk. That brown bottle. Sports positioning. Built on milk tagline. Available at every service station, school canteen, supermarket fridge. Australians drink 45 million litres of oak annually. Here's what parents need to know. A 600 milliliter bottle of oak chocolate contains 42 grams of sugar. That's over 10 teaspoons, more sugar than a 600 milliliter bottle of Coca-Cola. You're giving your kids soft drink disguised as dairy. Read the ingredients: milk, sugar, cocoa powder, 1%, thickeners, 407, 460, 466, vegetable gum, 412, flavor, salt. Look at that cocoa powder percentage, 1%. The chocolate flavor is mostly sugar and artificial flavoring, not cocoa. Those thickeners: carrageenan, cellulose, sodium carboxymethylcellulose. Industrial additives used to create creamy texture without actual cream. Carrageenan is particularly controversial. Some studies link it to digestive inflammation. It's banned in infant formula in the EU. But it's fine in chocolate milk marketed to children. Oak needs multiple thickening agents because the base product is low-fat milk stretched with water and sugar. The thickeners create artificial creaminess that masks how little actual dairy fat is in the product. Here's the health impact. A teenager drinking 1 oak chocolate per day consumes over 15 kilograms of sugar per year from that single drink. That's 3,000 teaspoons of sugar annually. The diabetes risk, the obesity risk, the dental decay, all packaged as milk, so parents think it's healthier than soft drink. Oak markets heavily to athletes and active teens. Built on milk suggests sports nutrition. Recovery drink, protein boost. The protein content is minimal, about 13 grams per 600 milliliters. You're not building anything, you're feeding them sugar with a milk alibi, marketed to kids and athletes as nutritious. 42 grams of sugar per 600 milliliters, more sugar than Coke. At least Oak is honest about being junk food in disguise. The next brand pretends to be health food. Number 2. Sanitarium So Good soy milk. Plant-based milk, dairy-free, vegan-friendly. Health food store positioning. So Good is everywhere, positioned as the healthy alternative to dairy. Here's what they're not telling you. Check the label. Made in Australia from at least 95% Australian and imported ingredients. That means the soy, the primary ingredient, is imported from China, where GMO regulations are minimal and agricultural practices are questionable. But the origin is just the beginning. Soy milk production uses hexane extraction. Hexane is a petroleum-derived solvent used to extract oil from soybeans. The hexane is supposed to evaporate during processing. Supposed to doesn't mean completely. Residual hexane remains in the final product. You're drinking petroleum solvent residue in your natural soy milk. Then there's the phytoestrogen issue. Soy contains isoflavones, plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the human body. In high amounts from daily consumption, they may disrupt hormone balance, particularly concerning for children, pregnant women, and men. So Good also contains added vegetable oils, Check the ingredients: sunflower oil. Why does soy milk need added oil? Because soy milk is naturally thin and watery. The added oil creates artificial creaminess. You're drinking seed oil mixed with soy extract. But here's what makes So Good particularly offensive. It's owned by Sanitarium. Sanitarium is owned by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, a religious organization. Sanitarium operates as a health food company, but is registered as a religious charity. They pay zero corporate tax while making hundreds of millions in revenue annually. You're funding a tax-exempt religious organization when you buy So Good. Their profits go to church operations instead of Australian tax revenue. Meanwhile, they charge premium prices, $5 to $6 for 1 litre, while operating tax-free. Open your So Good carton, smell it, slightly beany with chemical undertones. That's the soy and residual processing chemicals. Taste it, chalky with artificial sweetness. There's a coating feeling in your mouth. That's the added vegetable oil. Plant-based health halo, Chinese soy processed with petroleum solvents. Owned by tax-exempt church. But the absolute worst offender isn't a multinational. It's a brand that was supposed to be different. Number 1. Norco Premium Milk. If you grew up in New South Wales, you know Norco. Your nan bought it, your parents bought it. The blue and white carton was in every country fridge from Lismore to Wagga. Farmer-owned cooperative since 1895. That meant something. That was a promise. In 2019, they broke it. Norco sold a significant stake to Woolworths. Yes, Woolworths, one of the 2 supermarket giants that destroyed dairy farmers with $2 milk. Norco took Woolworths' money and gave them ownership stake while continuing to market themselves as farmer-owned cooperative. 125 years of trust, sold. The cooperative structure technically remains, but Woolworths' influence over operations, pricing and sourcing is undeniable. The farmers who own Norco shares are now partners with the corporation that systematically bankrupted Australian dairy farming. But the ownership betrayal is just the beginning. Norco Premium Milk contains permeate, same cheese-making byproduct as Coles and dairy farmers. The premium positioning is marketing, not formulation. You're paying $6 to $7 for 2 litres of milk containing the same industrial additive as $2 Coles milk. Here's what makes this number 1, the exploitation of trust. Norco built 125 years of reputation on genuinely being farmer-owned, on regional community support, on doing dairy differently. Then they sold out to Woolworths and kept the cooperative branding while fundamentally changing what the cooperative represents. Parents buying Norco think they're supporting NSW farmers. They're funding Woolworths' dairy supply chain strategy. The premium price goes partially to Woolworths shareholders. The cooperative structure is being weaponized for marketing while corporate interests drive decisions. Open your Norco Premium. Pour it. Look at the consistency. Thin and watery despite the full cream labeling. That's permeate diluting the milk. Taste it. Bland and one-dimensional. No richness. No complexity. The regional branding shows New South Wales pastoral scenes, happy cows, green fields, family farmers. That imagery is designed to make you feel good about supporting regional agriculture. In reality, you're supporting a Woolworths-influenced cooperative using permeate and charging premium prices for standard industrial dairy wrapped in farmer-owned marketing. NSW Co-op since 1895, sold stake to Woolworths 2019, contains permeate despite premium pricing. Go check your fridge. If you see Norco and thought cooperative meant farmer first, you've been betrayed, and Woolworths is betting you'll never find out. Clean alternatives. Real milk still exists. From farms that care about quality, animal welfare and nutrition, you just have to know where to look. Number 2. Paris Creek Organic Biodynamic Milk. Open a bottle of Paris Creek, glass, not plastic. Already different. Pour it. See that cream line at the top? That's real milk. Milk that hasn't been homogenized into uniformity. Shake it gently. Watch the cream swirl back in. Smell it. It smells like milk. Actual milk. Not cooked, not chemical, not nothing. Taste it. There's richness, complexity. You can taste the grass the cows ate. The milk tastes different in spring than autumn because the cows eat different pasture. That's not inconsistency. That's proof it's real. Paris Creek is South Australian biodynamic certified dairy, genuinely small scale, glass bottles only, no plastic contamination leaching into your milk, no permeate, no ultra-pasteurization, just lightly pasteurized organic milk from grass-fed cows on biodynamic farms. The cows are treated ethically, the farmers are paid fairly, the milk hasn't been processed until it's nutritionally dead, $7 to $9 for 1 litre in glass. Yes, that's expensive, but you're paying for genuine organic certification with biodynamic practices, no additives, no processing tricks, ethical animal welfare, actual nutrition, available at selected independent grocers and health food stores. Worth finding. Number 1. Local dairy direct from farmers. Here's the truth the dairy industry doesn't want you to understand. The best milk costs the same as supermarket premium brands. Find dairy farmers at farmers markets. Buy directly, see their farm, meet their cows, ask about their practices, know exactly what you're drinking and where it came from. Direct from farmer milk costs similar to Norco or Pura, but you're getting genuinely fresh, unprocessed milk from known sources. No permeate, no ultra-pasteurization, no corporate ownership, no Woolworths taking a cut. Some farmers' markets have raw milk co-ops operating in legal grey areas. You buy a share in a cow and receive milk as a co-owner. Raw milk contains all enzymes, beneficial bacteria, and nutrients that pasteurization destroys. Research the risks. Make informed decisions. But if you want genuinely pure milk with zero processing, zero additives, and complete transparency, direct from farmer is the only way. The cost? $5 to $8 per litre. Same as supermarket premium brands, but the quality is incomparably better. Support actual farmers. Know your food source. Skip the corporations pretending to be farmer-owned while Woolworths counts the profits. Try it for 1 week, just 1 week, then go back to your supermarket brand and taste what you've been settling for. You won't go back. 7 brands, 7 ways Australian families are being sold compromised milk while thinking they're making healthy choices. From Coles' $2 farmer destruction to dairy farmers' Japanese ownership lie. From Pura's nutrition-destroying ultra-pasteurization to A2's scientifically questionable health claims. From Oak's sugar bombs marketed to kids to So Good's hexane-processed Chinese soy funding a tax-exempt church. To Norco's ultimate betrayal, 125 years of farmer-owned trust sold to the supermarket that destroyed dairy farming. The industry is broken. Permeate added without shame. Corporate takeovers gutting heritage brands. Ultra-processing destroying nutrition for shelf life. False health claims investigated by regulators. Sugar-loaded drinks marketed as wholesome dairy. Read every label. If it's ultra-pasteurized, the nutrition is compromised. If it contains permeate, you're drinking cheese waste. If there's no transparency about sourcing, assume the worst. Buy direct from farmers when possible. Choose biodynamic or organic with transparent practices. The Australian dairy industry has been so thoroughly corrupted that finding genuinely pure milk requires effort. But it's worth it. Next week, Australian yogurt brands, products marketed as probiotic health foods while containing more sugar than ice cream. Comment below, which product do you want me to expose next? If this video changed how you think about milk, share it. Your family, your mates, anyone still buying Norco thinking cooperative means farmer first, anyone buying A2 thinking the science is settled, subscribe. We're doing this every week, every aisle, every lie. Stay informed and go check your fridge right now.